Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Faces of JAF. Today, I am extremely proud to introduce you to Mike Lombardo. And Mike, why don't you introduce yourselves to our viewers?
Absolutely. Hey, everyone. Mike Lombardo, CEO of GlideFast Consulting. 34 years old. I have two children from Boston, Massachusetts. Also a cancer survivor, and really just happy to be meeting you, Jen, and be involved with such an amazing organization.
Mike, I want to let you tell everybody how you met JAF. And the gift that you gave Joe and him being able to embrace you during your cancer journey was just huge for him. It meant a lot to him. But Mike, share with us how that happened.
Yeah, so I guess I got to start, the whole cancer kind of journey, right? So 2019, early November, I started getting a swelling in my neck and a sinus infection. And after some antibiotics, it wasn't going away. So we went to the doctor's emergency room, went home a couple times, and it'll clear up, and it's kind of got worse. So eventually we kind of went to the ER one day and never came out. And I was in there for a few weeks, and different types of antibiotics they were trying. And eventually they did a surgery through my sinus, and took some tests, and ultimately found out it was cancer. I got diagnosed on Thanksgiving morning. It was not the best day, to get to learn that. But you know, I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. So went through 4 rounds of chemo, radiation, and then a stem cell transplant over the course of the next year. So it was definitely a journey, and I believe pretty much almost a year ago, almost to the day, I had met JAF. And I just, my wife and we just remember, being in the heart of the journey, the battle, right, against cancer. And one thing we just kept thinking to ourselves and saying to ourselves is we're just so fortunate that we're not sitting here stressing about bills and about our business or our work, right? My wife and I own a consulting firm. We do software implementations. We have an amazing team of now we're over 250 employees, but they all stepped up to support us. And Mike, don't worry about work, and which is new to me because, and of course I never really stopped, but the important thing is we didn't have to worry about paying the rent, paying the mortgage. And, we said it, we're going to start a foundation. We said it, we're going to start something. We want to try to help patients. Cancer research is important. Supporting Dana-Farber is important, and Brigham Women's and partners. That's all great. But how do we help? How do we get money in the hands of patients directly affected?
Mike, so it's so great that you and your wife saw that there was a need when you were in treatment and watching what was happening kind of around you. And that's something that Joe and I definitely saw and I focused on. Why don't you share what that has done and the energy it's giving you and really kind of the mission it's giving you and what you and your family and GlideFast will be doing with JF?
Yeah, so we're going to be raising. Our goal is to raise $100,000 for JAF, and basically GlideFast and the Lombardo family are going to be matching $50,000, and we're going to be putting out a fundraiser to our networks, to the ServiceNow community, and trying to raise $50,000. So we're either way, we're donating 50,000, but we're going to try to raise another 50,000 from our larger community and really get to that goal of $100,000 for your organization.
Wow, Mike, like what you're doing for JF now is like you're taking that and you're on fire, like you are using that what some would, push away. Like I said, that's what Joe wanted to do for a little bit, push away, some would just like, it needs to leave.
Run away. Yeah.
It needs to leave. I want to move forward. But you're, I'm sure you have moments that you're there.
Yeah.
And honor those moments, because you get to hate the hell out of cancer. Like it is crap.
It is. And, there's definitely going to be, like, I'm still in recovery, right? Like emotionally and mentally, I'm sure so much happens so fast. Like, yep, you got cancer. Okay. You're on chemo. Like there's which it's actually almost a good thing. Like, don't give you any time to think about it. Just go right into it. I mean, obviously you need to treat it immediately. But one thing that's important to note about what we're doing. So we obviously want to raise $100,000 for JAF to go directly in the hands of patients, going through this awful time. But it's not just me, it's the whole GlideFast and really the whole ServiceNow community that is going to ultimately make this happen. So, I think I have a little bit of influence or capability, right? I'm in a position where I can say, hey, let's do this, right? And I think anybody really is in a similar position would do the same. I would hope. I believe that we're all good people, right? And we all want to give back. And I think different people have different ways of giving back and doing good. But I want when years, hopefully many years down the line, I want my kids to say, my dad did some really good a lot of good out there.
You are giving people the ability to let their shoulders down.
Yeah. And that's what I hope. And I love specifically this pediatric program, because one thing that my wife and I, the one thing that got us through this as well, we'd always say it. I said, thank God I don't have to watch my kids go through this. Like, give it to me. I'll take the pain. I'm gladly, like, if I had to watch my poor kid, right? So, the fact it's pretty amazing that this initiative is going to that. And like, that's, it's just, the world is just, is such an amazing place. And, I just want to do some good out there. And, I don't want to just go out and solicit people for money. Right. So I'm personally, matching money here. GlideFast as an organization is matching donations here, but we didn't want to just do a one and done either. Right. We didn't want to just, hey, last year, as we did, we raised a few grand, or we just donated a few thousand. We want to, like, okay, how can we bring something to the table, but also leverage our network, right? And our brand, and get other people to donate. And I started thinking of throwing around some ideas with our marketing team, and, just said, let's go for $100,000. That'll be amazing.
Yeah, it is truly amazing. For so long, like this little germ, I go back like, oh, this little seed, right? And you water it and you water it. Yeah. And, if you asked me, Joe's anniversary of diagnosis will be May, and it will be 14 years. If you would have asked me, and JF would be 13 years old in May. So if you would have asked me 13 years ago, what will JF look like at the end? Like, what are your goals? It's like, to help people.
I know.
Like, to help people. And now I'm like, we are helping people. What are we going to do in addition to that? What are the things that we're really looking to do? And what have we learned along this journey is that we really need to focus on outcome.
Yeah.
No, we really need to focus on outcome of the patient, the family. How can we advance our programs?
Yeah.
In 2020, year of whatever, like of devastation, tragedy,
Terrible. Yeah.
but yet so much good.
Yeah.
Like our pediatric financial assistant grew 500% in its giving
Wow.
because we had the time to pause
Yeah.
to say, how do we innovate and integrate into these pediatric centers more?
Yeah.
And that was because of a gift from One Mission. And now what you're doing is you're allowing us to continue that into 2021. And we've taken what we've learned and we're now really saying, how can we continue that and do it better?
Yeah.
And because you believe in us and because of all that, it's going to happen. It's really going to happen. You're allowing it to happen. So I am, extraordinarily grateful. I know my entire team is, but you definitely, you have given us the hope, that today is going to be a good day. And that's what we have to focus on. We have to focus on today. So Mike, it was great to have you. I can't wait to see you in person and meet your lovely bride and your two beautiful girls. But a huge thank you. And to everybody watching, I hope you enjoyed this segment and check out Mike's story.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. It was a pleasure meeting you.